Hello, everyone. Welcome to the For the Love of Books podcast featuring indie and small press authors with host author Emma Palova. I would like to thank our sponsors, Modern History Press, Moravian Sons Distillery, author Terry Martin, and Doc Chavin. Today, I will be chatting with author Raymond Luczak and ASL interpreter Adam Bartley, who will announce the details of his book giveaway of Ironhood at the end of the interview. Raymond Luczak is the author and editor of 38 books, including Ironhood, Poems, Modern History Press, Animals Out There Wild, a bestiary in English, and ASL Glass, Unbound Edition Press, and Compassion, Michigan. The Ironwood Stories, Modern History Press. His work has appeared in Poetry, Prairie Schooner, and elsewhere. An inaugural Zoe Glossia Poetry Fellow. He lives in Minneapolis, Minnesota. Hello, Raymond. How are you today?
Oh, thank you for having
Hello,
me.
everyone. Thank you so much for having me here today.
Okay, let me start us off with a quote from John Lee Clark, author of How to Communicate. This book sees all, not everything, but all. There is a difference. I can't resist but read one more review by Beverly Mathern, author of Potions d'Amour, Deaf and Rejected. Luczak longs for visibility among those who erase him, class bullies, teachers, and even his mother, who goes to the grave, unable to accept her gay son. I found myself rereading Ironhood, wanting to savor his writing. Beautiful. Okay.
Those are very kind words. Very, very moving. Thank you.
Okay, Raymond. Can you give us a brief summary of Ironhood, which is a twist on Ironwood, where you actually grew up?
Okay, so let me explain a few things about that. I'm happy to. First of all,
What we call
initially the book was called Ironwoodia.
iron,
Ironwoodia was the original starting title.
modern interpret.
And then when Modern History Press accepted the book for publication, they suggested, I looked over at the internet and see if it was already used on Amazon and shocked to find that the word Ironwood, which is the name of a porn sex series, a porn series. And so we said, nope, not publishing it under that name. Nope, we don't want that. So we want to make the book easy to find, though, and so that it wouldn't be confused with that other audience. So with that, we came up with a new title, Ironhood, which speaks to the state of mind in that space, which I think is much more acceptable. And I don't think it's confusing, the iron wood with Ironhood. I think so. In a way, I think part of the bigger picture it brings in here is like what life in a small town is like, and Iron Range area. And that's an area where historically there was a lot of iron mining that was being done. And in fact, my hometown, I would say its boom years really peaked in the 1920s and 1930s in that era. It was a boom era for that area, and about 20, 30,000 people at the time. And then after some time passed, one mine after another closed because the iron ores were depleted. And so when the last mine closed, it was 1967. And then I was born just 2 years before that. So really, I grew up with the sense of what that town was, and like a lot of young boys, growing up in a town that was obviously in decline. Things were still going along, but there was nothing compared to the time that had preceded that. And so in this small town, for example, and then it had an opera house at the time.
Oh, wow.
And so, and there were 2 or 3 movie theaters at the time, 2 or 3, and large, bustling, and it's much declined. And now it's a town of less than 5,000 people. So at any rate, my book talks about the people that I used to know there. And And just
My
as some examples
neighborhood.
in my neighborhood.
Most the house never.
Most of the houses there,
I went my neighbor's
were
house.
never occupied. I went into
Yeah.
nobody's houses were
No,
locked. I
really.
walked into neighbors' houses with no concern. No houses were locked. Houses and cars
Everyone
were
knew
just
each other.
left because everyone knew each other.
I also knew
And
many
I also know many of the people by name, and and not a lot of the mom and pop shop owners. We knew those business owners by name in that small town. And so
all
the book is about all of those people that I used to know, my
Oh,
neighbors.
cute.
Yeah.
What about
Yeah.
that cat-eyed lady, Raymond? You mentioned a cat-eyed lady.
Yes. I don't know her name.
And I don't actually know her name, but I do remember her. And I remember that those cat eyes staring intently and being cowed by that. I mean, when you're a young and impressionable kid looking out at the world and adults who have a great deal of power, it's quite something.
I don't know what her
And so I
story
don't
was.
really know what her story was. But in fact, because I'm deaf, I actually never got the chance to overhear what my siblings knew about these people, about these other people's backgrounds.
Yeah, I cannot.
Because having grown up deaf, you didn't get the sort of incidental conversation around. And so that's something that's important to understand, is that if there was something I needed to understand, I would have to have somebody sit down in front of me and specifically tell me about it, lip read them, and figure it out as best I could. And so I can speak to the interactions I had with these people, though.
Sure. And Raymond, what inspired you to write this up? Was there a specific moment that set you off to write it?
Actually,
This has been part of a series of books that I've written. The way I write my poetry tends to be the case that I have an idea or a concept or something that I want to explore. And then I'll spend several months, if I'm inspired, by just getting it out there, vomit it onto the page, just put out there what I can put out there, and then go through rewrites, reorganization, redo it, cut out the bad poetry, figure out what works, what's not working, and hone in on what's there. And then if you look several books before, I started writing about my hometown. The first book there that really, my first book of poems, in fact, was some 30 years ago. It was called St. Michael's Ball. And so it was nothing really specifically about my hometown again until some 5 years ago with a book called Once Upon a Twin. Once Upon a Twin. And in that book is really about the stories that my mother told me. And I had 3 different contradicting stories to try to reconcile about a miscarriage. She said that there was a miscarriage that could possibly have been my twin.
I never thought about it.
And so I never really thought about it and started looking into this concept and considering what would life have looked like as my life as a deaf person if I'd grown up with a twin. Would my twin have been there to support me? Would they have been at a distance with me? Would they have interpreted for me? What was that like? Could that have been like? So that was sort of the fantasies of what that life as a twin could have been. And then the next book was called Far From Atlantis.
I became obsessed with
and then around the age of 11, I became obsessed with UFOs and Bigfoot and Loch Ness Monster and Wonder Woman and all those things. Obsessed during that period. And then some time passed after that phase. I started noticing that I was writing about some of these people that I knew. And I started, putting the book together with these different writings. And I really wanted it at the time, and then I showed it to the Modern History Press, and they took it. But it didn't feel quite right yet. But once my mother passed away, then the book totally reorganized itself because my mom was the last person living there that I knew. All the other people in the book are dead. All of them. They're all gone now. And so she was the last one. So initially, when I submitted the book to the publisher, the book started with something else. At the end of the book was a poem called
"On a Spaceship
One day a spaceship will arrive, will land here, right there in Ironwood. That was the title of the last poem.
When my mother died,
When my mother died, I took that poem, and that became the first one in the book. And then everything reorganized itself with that ended with my mother and her,
because
elderly.
the one I read and I was fascinated by it, I believe it's called Buttercups. And that sounds like it was written
That's the last one.
after Lorraine passed. So I was fascinated by that poem. That was great.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
What was the biggest challenge in writing this book?
Really trying to find the right structure.
Really,
the order.
much of it was about the structure and the order. But when my mother passed, I wrote that poem and I knew what to do. So getting over that structure, knowing what to do then was the biggest hurdle. Sometimes, there's the right poem to end the book, and having that or the right one to begin it puts things in sorts.
Okay. What was the most gratifying part?
That the book is done.
The book is done.
That's the best part. Okay, any surprises, discoveries, or epiphanies while writing this book?
Actually, yes.
Yes, as one of the strange things.
Yes, and one of the strange things was
write
that
a poem about this man.
I wrote a poem about this person who's not in this book. It's actually published in a prior work.
Name.
And it's this man named...
His name was, so I thought.
His name was, or at least so I thought his name was. Ray Gust. Which is a strange name. It was a strange name to me. So there were only two deaf men in the city, in my hometown. And they couldn't have been more different from each other. The first deaf man,
the high school dropout,
was the high school dropout from the deaf school, but a fluent signer.
Dishwasher.
And he worked as a dishwasher for the Holiday Inn there in town.
And I don't know what his job was.
The other one, I don't know what his job was, but his name was Ray Gust. He was deaf. And so we had the same first name. I'm Raymond. He was Ray.
So I'm looking for the years
I was looking for the years he lived and died. I couldn't find it. I was stymied in my search, and I found really his name was not Ray at all.
Not even the middle name.
It wasn't his middle name.
Oh, okay.
His name was Francis.
Oh,
his name was Francis.
Okay.
Okay.
And I was puzzled by this, and I don't know why people called him Ray. But that was one that was really, it was a hard time finding it. So I did some more exploring, did a lot more research. And one of the big challenges I had was finding people's exact name and years. But for one, it was called The Watchdog, one of the poems. And so
people going up there,
people knew that's person's name, but I didn't know it. So it took some hunting to find the right name, the right year, get the right background to correct my memory. And some of it is also influenced by PTSD,
Yeah,
correction.
right.
He had correction of the interpretation. He had PTSD.
I had to make sure that
So I wanted to make sure that what I recalled was not inaccurate. I got his name and all the information verified. So that was challenging.
Sounds challenging. Okay. Raymond, what do you feel you did right? No one else could have done it like you.
I was the only deaf child in the town.
I was the only deaf child living in that town. So who else could tell that story?
Yeah.
C'est moi. C'est moi.
C'est moi. Yes. Yes. What would you have done differently?
You mean my life?
So do you mean in my life or with that book?
In the book. In the book.
I would like to remember.
Well, would like to have remembered more of these people because sometimes, and as I said, this is over 50 years ago.
Oh, wow.
I wish I'd remembered more and taken more note of some of these people, the names of the stores. There was one man in particular.
He died
from my hometown who died 4 years ago. Who knew everything about all the businesses that had been there in town, and he died. And I wish I had asked him, "Hey, tell me about this store. Tell me about that place. Tell me about this person."
My town small enough.
Because my hometown was small enough that I could walk through town by myself. At 7 or 8, it was no big deal to walk into the stores all by myself and mill around. Everybody knew who I was. There's the deaf kid. Everybody knew who I was.
Oh, yeah, sure. Small town, right? Okay, Raymond, what have you learned about yourself from writing this book? This book.
Yeah, I'm about learning more about myself.
I don't know. Did I learn more about myself through writing this book? That's a good question. I mean, that's been part of my journey with my other books as well. But with this, I would say
about what it means.
I really thought long and hard. Raymond, pause for one moment. Froze. So you froze right at didn't think long and hard about.
I'll repeat.
So I'll repeat that. I didn't think really long and hard about what it meant to live in a small town at that time. So with this book, I really explored that. I dug into my own experience and feelings there, and what it was like to be a deaf person in that small town.
And
really, the book became a process of elegy. Of the life I used to know, an elegy of my childhood.
Oh, yes, absolutely. That is awesome. What are some of the takeaways from the book?
I think it's important to appreciate what you can't remember.
It's important to appreciate what you can remember.
And that, you can't
there are times when you're a kid, you don't realize how awful some things are because, you just think that's the normal course of things when you're a kid. But it's so important also to appreciate the good things that you have in time. I don't know how to say it, but really, the book is really an elegy to who all these people were and were to me.
Yeah. Raymond, would you do it all over again? Your writing career, everything that you've done up so far in your life, would you do it again?
No.
Really,
really?
Because I made mistakes because back then I didn't know everything about the world of poetry, the business of poetry, the po-biz, if you will. For example, the first book of poems, publishing it with the right house. I didn't know. I just didn't know what I didn't know. I didn't know a lot about the ins and outs of the publishing world as a poet. Because the world of professional poetry it's just very different and very competitive in a way that sometimes there's very little room for somebody who's deaf. And for somebody who's deaf, and other to be signed as a novelty and like, oh, look, it's signing, or it's beautiful, but to be seen beyond that. So that said, I did not think I would be able to publish 38 books so far. I didn't think I would be able to publish 38 books so far. So
that's amazing.
Starting off with the first 2 and then moving forward, I mean, wow. So it's fine. I'm not going to dwell on what could have been.
Right.
I just keep moving on.
Right. So what is the most interesting or bizarre thing that has ever happened to you during an in-person event, author's event, something that you'll never ever forget?
One time I was in Ohio.
One time I was in Ohio and I was giving a talk. And I was reading in a bookstore. And I was talking a little bit about the layout of the book. And so I was standing behind this large, I was at a podium and there was a sea of chairs in front of me. And there was a door just opposite, right? So I'm signing away, and the interpreter was speaking into English, what I was saying. And there was one man, a customer, I guess, who wandered in, who just completely ignored me and just walked behind me and went into the bookshelves, started shopping for books behind me right in the middle of the talk. And so everybody's eyes are distracted. What's happening right now? So, and I said,
I told the
That's when I told the interpreter, you know
everyone
what?
was
Don't say a word.
had the
Just
mayor
silent for a minute.
look
And
at
then suddenly the man
Look.
heard silence, looked at all of us, realized what was happening, and left.
Yeah,
I'm like, come on, you can't see there's an author giving a talk right there, signing.
I don't know what
And I don't know. I don't know what he was thinking, but he just walks right
shocked.
behind me and
Back in
starts perusing the
1995.
shelves. This is back in 95. So
That's incredible. So, what is next on your writing journey?
I'm in
well, I have a new book of poems, a collection
when-
coming out in March, February, something like that, in the spring.
Okay.
sometime.
uh,
It's entitled Exeunt, Exeunt.
that's what we call it's a book of elegy for
So it's a book of elegies for
AIDS.
gay friends who have died of
Because
AIDS.
it's kind of
Okay.
And so
about
it's titled,
Shakespeare.
if you think of Shakespearean theater, for example,
Yes.
when
and then
somebody would
we-
come on stage and leave. And so each poem is like that character who comes into the spotlight, speaks to who they are, and then they leave and have gone from the spotlight, each in turn.
So,
Yes.
So that's why, the stage direction is
Exeunt.
excellent. And so this collection of poems is a new anthology coming. Oh, and I'm editing a new anthology for Modern History Press that's going to be coming out later.
my next book.
And then I'll start working on the next book.
Of course. We all have to keep on going. Just rolling. Okay. Totally up to you. Would you like to read to us from Ironhood?
Yeah. Okay. I picked one.
So I have selected a poem for this reading. So, and a little bit of background about it first.
Yeah.
And once again, the book is mostly story poems.
Even if you don't know or poems.
So even if you don't like poems, there's still story there, to be followed. That you can follow through. So it's mostly a series of stories. And so this is one of the stories about a neighbor who did a very strange thing. So I'll let Adam read it. And just 1 second.
No, I want you read it.
Oh, just read it. Okay. And you're signing this? Okay. So I haven't had time to translate it into ASL, so I'll have Adam read it.
Okay. All right.
Okay. Charles Chuck Lewinsky, 1914 to 1987. He had the gruffest face of anyone I saw. He smiled not even once while we kids were laughing down the street from his house. Wearing a dull olive uniform, he worked as a janitor at Luther L., where a nursing home next door faced 2 funeral homes right across the street. One summer evening, he lay face down in the yard outside his living room window. His arms stayed flat against his body. He kept his scissor legs shut with his face planted right in the grass. He did not move for what seemed a long time. Mosquitoes buzzed around me. I watched him from the driveway of our 3-stall garage next door. What if he had died? Didn't his wife know what he was doing this very minute? I finally said, "Hey, Mr. Lewinsky, you okay?" He turned his head and looked up, pissed at me. His face was not marked by green stains. He pushed himself off the grass and turned around and walked back to the door of his yellow house. Not even a word of apology. When he died, I thought of how he wouldn't like to resting face up in his coffin when he was buried.
Very great. I love that.
Yeah.
I really
So
enjoyed that.
I told my mother
So
what
strange.
happened.
And I told my mother what happened. My mother was really puzzled. That's, yeah. And just looking at him, what is happening?
Yeah. Okay, now the details, Raymond, of your book giveaway of Ironhood.
Okay. I'm happy to give an autograph.
You to give an autographed copy of the book the first person who emails with this subject field that says podcast book giveaway.
Email address, which I
And
wrote.
the email address, and I'll repeat it twice just to be sure.
Email address.
The email address is Yooper, Yooper, Owen at Gmail.
Repeat.
And I'm going to repeat it. Yooper, poetry, correction to the interpretation,
Email
at gmail.com. And I'll do it once more. Yooper, poetry at gmail.com. And so the first one to send it with that subject heading, I'll respond, let you know you get it, and you'll get it. Give me your snail mail address, and I'll send it off to you.
Excellent. And now, parting shots from each one of us. You first, Raymond. You're my guest. What would you like to leave our listeners with?
That please be open to work by.
Please be open to work by deaf people, because I think in America very often, like, if you look at the New York Times bestseller list,
I don't know if I'm famous.
I don't know if I would say I'm famous, perhaps somewhat in the deaf community, but
appreciate that people like
I very much appreciate it when people like you
help to promote
books and works that could
easily
be overlooked within mainstream media. So
I appreciate
that's good. I very much appreciate that, and I just want to ask people, be open.
Yes, and I'm Raymond, and I'm definitely honored to have you on my podcast. And my parting shots are write indie, buy indie, and read indie. Read your local newspapers for inspiration. Keep your fingers on the keyboard and your butt in the chair. Thank you for listening. Goodbye. Goodbye.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you so much. Bye-bye. Thank you for having me.